Previously, the president has used one public forum or another to comment on the FBI investigation into Mrs. Clinton and her email conduct. At one point, he stated that, as far as he could see, there was no real damage done to national security. You yourself, from this podium, have suggested that the investigation wasn't trending toward any focus on Mrs. Clinton herself. I wonder if you could address for us the potential conflict of interest that might exist when the President of the United States, the head of the executive branch, is openly saying, I want this woman to succeed me in the Oval Office, and you have other employees of the executive branch, career prosecutors, FBI agents working this case, who now have just heard how the President wants to see this case resolved, in essence. Isn't there some conflict there?
Yeah. James, there's not. And you noted a couple of instances in which the President had been asked about the FBI investigation, and in each of those answers, the President made clear that that investigation is one that is being conducted independent of any sort of political interference. That is a principle to which the President is resolutely committed. You mentioned my comments. My comments were actually also in response to a question and were a reference to published reports of comments from FBI officials about the direction of the investigation. But look, the reason that the President feels confident that he can go out and make this endorsement and record a video in which he describes his strong support for Secretary Clinton's campaign is that he knows the people who are conducting the investigation aren't going to be swayed by any sort of political interference. They aren't going to be swayed by political forces. That they know that their investigation should be guided by the facts and that they should follow the evidence where it leads. And the President has complete confidence that that's exactly what they'll do.
So when a career prosecutor or an FBI agent who's working on the Clinton investigation hears this President speak openly of how he wants Hillary Clinton to succeed him, you don't think that that career prosecutor or that FBI agent takes that as some indication of how the President wants to see this case resolved?
No. I think that those career prosecutors understand that they have a job to do, and that job that they are supposed to do, which is to follow the facts, to pursue the evidence to a logical conclusion, that is a job that they are responsible for doing without any sort of political interference. And the President expects them to do that job. And look, this is the reason that we actually ask career federal prosecutors to take the lead on these kinds of matters. They're the ones who conduct this investigation. They are not, they don't have political jobs. They have career jobs as law enforcement officers and as prosecutors and as investigators. And that's what their responsibility is. And that's why the President, when discussing this issue in each stage, has reiterated his commitment to this principle that any criminal investigation should be conducted independent of any sort of political interference, and that people should be treated the same way before the law, regardless of their political influence, regardless of their political party, regardless of their political stature, and regardless of what political figure has endorsed them.
To your knowledge, has President Obama ever discussed the Department of Justice investigation with Mrs. Clinton?
He has not. He has not. All right. Margaret.
Josh,